Next up, we've got Columbus taking on the New York Islanders, 7-8 on the rotation. Columbus minus 125, road favorite in this game, and the total pretty much six across the board here. And the Columbus Blue Jackets getting off the schneid. How about that? Finally snapping their losing streak. John Tortorella was hell-bent saying, we're close. We're close to getting this thing turned around, getting back on track, getting back in the win column. They finally did the other night against the New Jersey Devils, and they did it with an offensive explosion, an eruption offensively for this Blue Jackets team. 6 goals for them. Big time offensive performance from them, especially when prior to that, you saw Columbus held to 2 goals or less in the majority of their games. Finally, get an outburst of 6 goals and 50 shots on net against that New Jersey team. 6-1 victory. I'll venture to say this: if the Columbus Blue Jackets duplicate that 50 shots tonight against the Islanders, they could score six against this Islander team. Absolutely, they can. You look at this Islanders team. What have they given up? 42 and 39 shots their last two. Again, 47 shots allowed to Nashville, 49 shots allowed to Columbus just 10 days ago when these two teams played, and it was a 4-3 game. The Islanders won it, but very fortunate when you give up 49 shots. They gave up 50 shots. It just continues to be a sieve defense. I don't know. That's all there is to say. Even Johnny Boychuk hasn't eh, just made this defense a whole lot better with his return. I mean, and I've said that before. Even when this team's fully healthy, they weren't really a great defensive team. But they finally get Johnny Boychuk back. But you're still without Calvin DeHaan, who I think is really the guy in terms of defensively, really stirs the drink for you, makes this defense better, and he still remains out for this team long term. Even a guy like Nick Kuleman, who is a good defensive forward for this Islander team, has been out for a while. Things like that just really hurt you defensively. They continue just to play these track meet style of games. With Columbus finally breaking out offensively, 50 shots and 6 goals. That's a good sign for John Tortorella's team, no question about that. As I said, they played a 4-3 game just the other 10 days ago. A high pace game, lots of chances, lots of shots on goal. You look at Columbus; they've now actually put 175 shots on goal in their last 4 games combined. So they've gotten the chances. If they get those kind of high volume chances tonight and shots, they're burying a ton of goals, and the red light's going to be lit pretty early and often here in this game. I'm going to actually going to ride this little Columbus momentum here a little bit. They finally won a game. This Islander team is just horrendous defensively. I still think Columbus is a better hockey team than the New York Islanders here going into this game tonight. So we'll look at the Islanders. We'll certainly look over the total 6 here in this game. It was 4-3 the other night. No problems going right back to that over 6. It was 4-3 the last time these two teams met. That cashes us an over. So we'll look at Jackets and over in this game tonight for me in Brooklyn. Dana is also involved in this Jackets Islanders game. The Islanders, just everybody's favorite over friend. We'll see if it continues tonight. Dana, what are you looking at in this game?
Well, normally, I mean, and I agree with you, Ian. Normally, I'd want to see a little bit more form after a 5-game losing streak in the case of the Columbus Blue Jackets. But this is when you just put both of these teams on paper, there really is no comparison, despite the fact that they both have 60 points this season. And one of the aspects that I like going into this game is that John Tortorella, we've talked before about he's a little kinder, a little gentler this year, but you can see the fire starting to brew a little bit there. The other night, he calls out his goaltending, said that they need to be better, and then he went on to say, "Well, we also need to be better offensively, defensively, special teams." So, but the point of that whole conversation was he definitely pinpointed the goaltending as a spot that needs to be better. So I think if I'm Bobrovsky or I'm Corpusalo, I'm certainly listening to this and knowing that my coach really has just put the spotlight on me. And I know that a lot of people probably don't realize how bad Bobrovsky has been as of late. I mean, his save percentage is under 90% in his last 5 starts. He's 1-3 with a 2.80 goals against average. So he hasn't been the guy that you can rely on as of late. Kind of back to the year where he had a ton of injuries, and we knew that there was a ton of potential there, but we never knew which goaltender we were getting on a nightly basis. But I do think that of these two teams, I think Columbus is the better of the two teams, and this is also a revenge spot because we remember the first of the 5 games that the Columbus Blue Jackets lost 10 days ago was at Barclays Center, and it was at to the New York Islanders. So this is a revenge spot with the better of the two teams. I have no problem laying $1.25 with the Jackets tonight.
All right, this is going to be everybody, lots of people involved in this game. I'm on Columbus and over 6. Columbus for Dana, and Andrew's got this game on his card tonight, Islanders and Columbus. Andrew, what are you looking at here tonight in Barclays Center? I'm always ready to say Long Island, but I got to say Brooklyn now. Brooklyn, we
Well,
go
next
hard.
year.
Well, Island, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, they'll be back there. Yeah, Brooklyn. Will they go hard tonight, the Islanders? What do you think, Andrew? You think they are?
I'll tell you what, guys. I really think that this New York Islanders team is comparable, really, to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA. I think they're one of those teams where they almost just don't really give one shit on defense because they know how powerful their offense is. I mean, you guys see that game against Detroit on Friday night. They just sat back most of the night, and all of a sudden, in the third period, they decided to wake up, play a little bit of hockey. All of a sudden, they're back in the game, and it's an exciting finish. I mean, for me, when I see teams play like that, and when I see that, I'm not saying they're doing that on purpose, guys, but when I see teams that are trending towards that kind of play style and that they're sitting back on defense and putting up such large sums of goals, it just screams over to me. And like you guys just mentioned thoroughly, the Columbus right now is starting to pick up some steam. They probably didn't play their best hockey in the first half of the season. I think they're going to pick it up even more and get more consistent because right now, realistically, this Columbus team's been, the only consistent thing about them has been how inconsistent they've been. Realistically, looking at their last couple of games here, before that win, the 6-1 win over the Devils, they had a 4-2 loss against Washington, 3-2 loss against Washington, 4-3 loss against New York again, 3-1 loss against San Jose. So this team really, they don't really know how to win, it seems, guys. They don't really know how to put up numbers as well. And I think that just their track record right now coming into this game versus the Islanders, a lot of stats don't really work in their favor right now. The Blue Jackets 1-4 in their last 5 road games, 1-4 in their last 5 games versus a Metropolitan Division team, 1-4 in the last 5 games versus an Eastern Conference opponent. Obviously, 1-5 in their last games overall. And an interesting one here, they're 0-4 in the last 4 games when playing on 2 days rest. So for me, I'm specifically looking at the over in this game. I think that, like you guys said, I think Blue Jackets are picking things up right now after that last game. I'm not saying they're going to come out and score 6 goals once again, but I think that the way New York's been playing as well, they've been picking it up on offense, though, guys. I mean, I got to give a lot of respect to the second line here for the Islanders. Anthony Beauvillier. I'm Canadian and I can barely pronounce that, but I saw him play in the QMJHL league a lot. And, the thing about him, guys, is he's young, but he's not nervous at all. He takes about 4 shots a game, it seems. And Barzell, obviously, as we know, he's not shy to do anything. And then they're paired with Jordan Eberle on the right wing. So I think that this team is just so electric. They're so strong that this over is going to cash easily, probably in the second period. I think it should be a very exciting game. I think Columbus should be able to score some goals on this weak, lazy New York Islanders defense. So let's see if this trend continues. And I know it sounds weird comparing the Islanders to the Cavs, but they don't really care on defense. They know how to score on offense. So we'll see if this can continue for us. So I'm leaning the Islanders, but I'm focusing more on the over.
All right, over for Andrew and a lean to the Islanders for him in that game. That's Beauvillier, by the way, Andrew. Beauvillier, Anthony Beauvillier for the New York Islanders. That's okay. You gave us our Don Cherry moment for the day with the
Beauvillier, relax.
just say what Don says all the time. Something like that. What is his name? What is his name? Beauvillier, something like that. He always says when he's doing Coach's Corner. Don Cherry. As Don says, God love him. What would we do without that guy? Yeah, 4-3 anyway. These teams met 10 days ago. And again, 87 shots were fired at the net by both teams combined in those two games. 87 shots. So you're not splitting the atom figuring out that was a high-paced, high-tempo, high-scoring chance game. I think we probably could see something similar. And again, Columbus has to be feeling pretty good offensively. Finally coming to life for 6 goals the other night. So Cam Atkinson's got going. Some of their bigger guns now finally starting to wake up for the Jackets. So I think they win this game. It'll be a high-scoring game, but they'll get the extra save or two that I don't think the New York Islanders will get. They'll win, and I also like that game over the total.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.